Love it when a tech company drops something game-changing every 3 weeks like clockwork. Great news. Meta just released LLaMA for in, depending on who you ask. It's either the next step in AI evolution, or the llama-shaped version of Clippy with a LinkedIn profile. Welcome to the Headline Roast, Weekend Edition. The only show that makes sense of bleeding-edge tech with a mix of dry wit, skepticism, and just enough real data to confuse your dad at dinner. Subscribe now and join the roast fam. We roast the headlines so you can sound smart at brunch or while explaining to your group chat why you're a I. Assistant keeps calling you dear user. So what in the Mark Zuckerberg is a LLaMA for? It's Meta's latest family of large language models because nothing screams 2025 like billion-dollar AI. Mascots with barnyard names. You've got the LLaMA for Scout's 17 billion parameters. It's all squeezed into a single NVIDIA H100 GPU. That's like cramming a Tesla's brain into a calculator and calling it innovation. Then there's LLaMA for Maverick, the slightly larger, more extroverted model that claims to outperform OpenAI's GPT-4o and Google's Gemini. Bold move. Can it also prepare my taxes? And of course, LLaMA 4 Behemoth, 288 billion active parameters and 2 trillion total. Still training, still lurking, still plotting. Basically the Godzilla of generative AI. Expected to come online just in time to replace half your department. Let's talk performance, or at least the brochure version. Meta says LLaMA 4 is great at multimodal, tasks, text, images, video, memes, vibes, whatever the internet throws at it. Scout's got a context window of 10 million tokens, meaning it can read all of War and Peace, Dune, and your unread Slack messages without blinking. And under the hood, it uses a mixture of expert systems, meaning it activates just the parts it needs for a given task. Think of it like the AI version of I'll get up only if it's really important. Relatable, efficient, slightly judgy. Also, it can generate image captions, summarize long documents, and apparently process TikTok-style clips. So basically, it's smarter than your ex and has better recall than you on 3 coffees. What are people saying? Depends on how caffeinated they are. Let's start with the optimists. Some tech insiders are hyped, saying LLaMA 4 puts the US ahead in the open source AI race. David Sachs called Meta's release a strategic flex, saying it levels the playing field against the walled gardens of OpenAI and Google. Translation. Finally, an AI we can tinker with before it's monetized into oblivion. On X, one developer wrote, "The fact that LLaMA 4 is open source and runs on a single H100 is wild. Meta just changed the game." Okay, calm down, Greg. Let's see if it can write a good punchline first. Now let's flip the coin. On Reddit, one user wrote, "I'm incredibly disappointed. I tried it on coding tasks and legal reasoning, and it performed like LLaMA 1 with a mustache." Another said, "I fed it my child's custody documents, and it told me to seek inner peace. I want my tokens back." And the harshest yet, it talks like it's been trained on motivational posters and broken Stack Overflow threads. Even developers noted that LLaMA 4 performed worse than expected on math, logic, and chain-of-thought reasoning. So it might generate a sonnet, but don't ask it to solve a Wordle. How does LLaMA 4 stack up to the AI Avengers? Let's compare. Against GPT-4 Uno, OpenAI still dominates in reasoning, memory, and not accidentally hallucinating the plot of Shrek 4 in a legal brief. LLaMA 4 is cheaper, faster, and open source, but it's still trying to graduate from talented intern to actual coworker. Compared to DeepSeek v2, DeepSeek is sleek, efficient, and quietly dominating benchmarks like it's on silent mode. Meta's Mo design borrows from the same philosophy. Activate only what's needed. Conserve power, flex hard in the white paper, versus Mistral and Claude. LLaMA 4 is more general purpose, but not necessarily better. Claude sounds like it has a PhD in literature. LLaMA 4 still stumbles over dad jokes. Bottom line. Meta brought a very capable LLaMA to the AI rodeo, but it still has to prove it can ride without spitting on the crowd. What does this mean for us mere mortals? It means better apps, smarter assistants, maybe fewer hallucinations when you're trying to write a cover letter at 3 a.m. It also means keep your expectations in check. And maybe don't offload your legal strategy to a beta model named after a South American camelid. Developers, rejoice. The open source license means you can tweak, fine-tune, and probably break it in 42 hilarious ways. Consumers, just know your Facebook ads are about to get way creepier. And now, your roast brain teaser of the week, but first let's answer yesterday's. If a tariff raises the price of a $100 product by 25%, and consumers stop buying it, how long until a politician blames TikTok instead? Answer. As soon as the polls dip and blaming millennials for brunch stops trending. Now for today's brain teaser. If an AI can process 10 million tokens, answer philosophical questions, and still say, I'm not sure when you ask it who won the 2020 Super Bowl, how many GPUs does it take to fake confidence? We'll reveal the answer in tomorrow's episode. Subscribe, come back, and bring your sarcasm detector. This one might overheat.
Final thought.
Meta's LLaMA 4 is fast, flexible, and full of potential. But like all things Silicon Valley, it talks a big game and then quietly asks for 6 more months of updates. This has been the Headline Roast, Weekend Edition. New episodes drop every weekend. Like, comment, and subscribe if you love your AI with a little sass, a little skepticism, and a whole lot of side eye. We roast the headlines so you don't have to Google them.